Hey, so me, Delta, Biggie, and Jessica decided to do a challenge. You had to have a start at home. The rules were you can't use more than 3K, no glitch outs, 20 minutes only. Um, so we all had to buy a start at home if we didn't have one already. The start at home price is not included in the money for decorating, so you've got 3K to do the inside and make it like whatever you like, really, with the budget. So um, it was really fun doing this. We just thought of it and decided to go ahead and do it. So we're in a private server, so people couldn't like teleport to us or whatever. But it was really interesting. I already had my theme in mind. So right, we're ready to go. I think. Let's go. So I started off by deleting everything. I wanted to start completely fresh, so I deleted everything that I didn't want to keep. And then I decided I'd keep the sofa because I could just change the colour of that, save some money, and change the colour of the windows to see if I wanted to keep those. Decided to keep the windows, decided to keep the sofa, and move the windows over to this side. Had to move them about a bit, but I really enjoyed doing this. So obviously if you're on a low budget, you can just use the things that are in there, just change the colours. So the cheap sofas and things, the colours of those change quite easily, and the same with the bed. So I just figured I would keep those and use them and save some money on that. So change the colour of the lamp, change the colour of the sofas, things like that. I decided to go for an upside down house theme. So I put the sofa on the ceiling. Couldn't decide what colour to have it, so I just left it there for now. Then if you type in floor plates, it comes up with these, and you can put them on the ceiling then, and it looks more like a floor because you can't change the colour of the ceiling. So I figured I'll put the floor plates down, make the ceiling look like a floor, and then change the colour of the floor to look like a ceiling. I couldn't decide what colour to go for, and I think in the end I just went for the colour they come in. So it took me a while just wasting time doing that, but I was quite happy with the colour they came in, to be fair. So it looks more like a wood floor now, as you can see. So I just placed 4 of those up on the ceiling to make it look like a floor, and decided to change the wallpaper and the floor to white. I turned the windows upside down just to and put them a bit lower down, because you've got to imagine I'm now standing on the ceiling, so obviously the windows are a bit higher up when you're down on the sofa. So I decided to change the colour of the floor to white. So I changed the colour of the ceiling to white, and the sofas, I couldn't decide what colour to have them. I decided on black in the end because I thought they stood out a bit more. They sort of merged together against the grey wall when I had them grey. So I put a little rug there to make it look more homely. I didn't want the cheapest TV, but I wanted a decent size one. So I went for sort of an in-between TV, which was still a decent size, but still cheap enough. So I went for this one, and then we've got a little lounge area there, as you can see. And it's upside down. I really enjoyed this theme, and I don't know why it came to my head, but when we decided to do it, I was like, I'm going to do an upside down house. So that's what I did, and I had fun doing it, and I figured nobody else would think of that. So I quite enjoyed it, to be fair. It's really fun to do, and I'd definitely recommend doing this challenge with any of your friends. It was really fun, and just nice to do some challenges sometimes and just go off and do something a bit different rather than just aging up pets or things like that, or standing there trading and things. So I figured this area was a bit empty, so obviously you've got your little living space. I decided I'd want to put like a little office area over in this corner. So I got a desk that there. I figured I'd have a little lounge area, a little office area, and then a little kitchenette type area. I was going to put the fireplace over here, but decided it'd look a lot better probably over here where the sofas are, so I placed it there. Now it looks more homely and looks really cozy over there. So obviously we've got the desk here. I put a laptop on it, which is actually quite cheap, and then I figured I'll just put a big bookcase which takes up some space. I put the bookcase there, and right up against the wall, and now it looks like a little office. So it's actually really easy to do this. Surprisingly enough, it's easy to get things, as long as you angle the camera correctly, you can get things on the ceiling quite easily. And the floor plates, because they're floor plates, things will go on there. So I then went into the bedroom, wanted to remove the fan. I didn't want that on the floor as like a light, like as in a ceiling light, because I figured it'd be a bit weird with it spinning around. So I put the bed on the ceiling, figured I'd use this coffee table and the little glass and the lamp. Just changed the colour of the lamp, put them up there. So we've got a little table in the bedroom now and a little bed. And then, like I say, I put another floor plate on the ceiling. They come in this original brown colour, which looks like a floor anyway. Just put it on the ceiling and there you go, you've got a floor on your ceiling. So didn't know what colour to do at first, so I went for a bit of a different colour. Couldn't decide what to go for in the bedroom for the wallpapers. In a small room, the patterned ones look a bit too much, so I just went for a plain blue type of look in this one, because it's such a small room, you don't want like big patterns in there. So I just went for sort of simple but different, rather than going into detail with my design. Not fussed about winning, but I just really was quite excited about this design, to be honest, because I've never done an upside down house before and it was quite fun. So it's definitely different, and I've still got it now. I've not deleted the house, so it's really fun to do. Put some little decorative bits there, and then I decided this little area was going to be my little kitchenette, so I figured I'd put a little kitchen area up there, and then we've got this obviously open living space. So we get these are just the cheap cabinets or counters, and even though they're cheap, you can change the colour to any colour you want. So even just changing them to grey or white or black, they look a lot better. So I figured I'd use those ones. They're the cheapest ones. Just change the colours up a bit and make my little kitchen area. So that's what I did over here. I figured it's quite a good area to put a little kitchen, because you can put the corner bit so that it divides it off a little bit. Instead of taking up space, like having it in a big area, I like to do these little bits. So yeah, I put the little kitchenette here, just so it looks more like a home, really. I wanted it to be more homely, and the oven fit right in that gap, which was quite handy, so I quite like that. Then put a little fridge there to make it look a bit more like a kitchen, so you put that there, change the colour of it. I really enjoyed doing this. I definitely recommend doing it. It was so fun. And then just for some decorative bits in the kitchen, I figured I'd just put some of the coffee cup rack and just put that there, so you can tell they're the wrong way round, so it's upside down. And then went through to the bedroom, turned the windows round. Don't necessarily have to turn these windows round, because they look like windows whether they're whatever way up they are, but I moved them more towards what would be the floor, so the ceiling, just so they were like a bit of a lower window in the bedroom. Then obviously in here I wanted to put the floor plate on the ceiling, change the colour to blue to match the towels, and then changed the floor colour, which would be the ceiling, to white, because all the ceilings are usually white and you can't change the colour of them. So then put a light on the bedroom there, on the floor, which would be the ceiling, just so you know that it's the ceiling. You can't really add much to your, obviously you can't add much to a ceiling as decorative bits, because you don't usually have anything but lights on the ceiling. But in the living room I wanted to go for something a bit different, so I just put a lamp there, and then you've got the two lights on the floor there. And then I figured this room was a bit empty, so I put a plant in it there. They don't do many plants in Adopt Me, just this bamboo one. I don't know why. They've got like flowers and things, but they haven't got much in the way of like decorative items, so it's quite frustrating. But I really like the bamboo plant anyway, so I just used that one. Obviously I asked Biggie how long was left, because he was the one doing the timer, and I was pretty happy with what I'd done. So we had quite a bit of time left, so I figured, I'll just see if there's any finishing touches. I figured this looked a bit empty. Dr. Horse teleported to me during this. He didn't know we were doing a challenge, so I just locked him out because I was recording. I explained to him afterwards, obviously. He knows that if I do that I'm recording, so Sorry, Dr. Horse, but we were in the middle of a challenge and I didn't want, obviously in this tiny home, having someone in it is a bit difficult to move things about. So I'll just put some posters on the wall and then that's it, done. I'll show you the results.